Well. So you guys are back, and today I have a tip for beginning programmers as far as a strategy that you can utilize to help you save a lot of time and energy, wasting time trying to reinvent the wheel, going around and round in circles. Why won't this work? You probably remember a situation like this where you're like, a second ago I had something that was working pretty cool. I was proud of myself. This looks great. And now I don't really know what I'm looking at. It's a mess. It's not working well. There's errors coming in. Here's the deal. When you're writing code and you want to add a new element to your code. So for example, you have this code and let's say a project I'm working on right now. So it's a time tracking application and I'm taking input from the user, storing it as a variable, and then I'm writing it out to a file. Now, a lot of that stuff works, it's good to go. But right now what I want to implement is some kind of a loop, because I want this to be something that the task of taking the inputs and writing them to a file, I want that to be a repeated task. It's not just one event, right? An event happens, you log the event, typing in your input, it writes that to a log, right? Something else happens, you write it, you know what I mean? So it's like you're keeping track of things. Now, many of you might be tempted to just go ahead and start adding, depending on your experience level, maybe that works for you. People have different styles of how they code. But let me suggest this to you. How about instead of you messing up something that's working, it's great, you're proud of it, it's doing exactly what you want it to do, instead of messing that up by trying to add something that you're not really sure about how you want to implement, maybe figure out how that mechanism is going to work first before you start messing with your code. So first things first, I do a lot of backups as I'm working on code. So always keep a backup. So you should have that current version of your code backed up. So if you have something that works to a certain point, make sure you have that backed up. So no matter what, you can always go back to that point. You should never have to go beyond that to where you're redoing things you did already, right? You've got it working to a certain level, stay there. So back that up. Number two, rather than you trying to add this new functionality, what you could do is create another script, a brand new script. The purpose of the script is for you to test, design, and implement the features that you want to add to your other code. So you have your main code that you're working on, right? It works to a point. Then you start a new program or script, right? And the whole purpose of this script is to focus on the implementation of this new thing. So you want to add a loop, right? So forget about the script that you've been working on. So here's your new program. The only thing this program is going to do is the loop. So whatever ideas you had about how this loop is going to work, implement them here, right? Implement them and test them. Get it working. So the purpose here is that no matter what happens, no matter what mistakes you make, you're only touching this program or script that was designed specifically to figure out how your loop is going to work, right? So you're not messing with your base code, right? Leave the base code alone. Figure out the looping here. Get it to the point where the looping works the way you want to, and now you have your blueprint. Now you can look at how you wrote the code here. Take that, and now you can basically transcribe it into your base code. Now, obviously, sometimes that may be smooth, other times it's not so much. But the bottom line is, it's a much better way to go where, again, you figure out how it's going to work in an entirely different program or script, figure that out, and then you transfer it to your base code, And in most cases, it's just going to work because you already figured out how it's going to work. So if you didn't do that, while you're in there fidgeting around and changing things, why am I getting this error, that error? You end up messing this thing up and changing that thing. And by the time you're done, you don't even know what you changed. All you know is it's not working. So that is my tip for today. I highly recommend you give that a shot. Again, people learn different ways, but I think it's advantageous for you to isolate things like that. Because when you're working with code and it gets to the point where it's very large, you have lots of lines, a lot of different things going on, it can be difficult to troubleshoot something that you're trying to add to it in the context of all this other stuff you have, right? So it's better to eliminate all that noise and do your figuring out and troubleshooting in an isolated environment. This is my loop environment. The only thing that exists here is my loop, right? Every piece of code here is to support my loop. So when I'm troubleshooting my loop, I'm not looking at some other section and input data and whatever. I'm only seeing loop related things, so there's minimal distractions, so I can work more efficiently. And again, figure out the kinks, figure out what's wrong with it. And then once I have a solution and something that works, then you take that code and implement it to your base code. This is Computer Programming University, and this is a tip of the day. Been a really, really crazy last couple of weeks. I know I haven't done any videos in a while, but that's why. I'm going to take a quick peek at the chat and see what is going on. See what you guys are saying, you guys and gals, before I end the stream. And okay, Raspberry Pi Lab says, nice video. A subscriber is at 1. Hope you subscribe back. Nice video. A subscriber is at, I hope. I'm not really sure what you're saying, Raspberry Pi Lab, but thanks for the support. Thanks for watching and clicking on that like button. You didn't click on the like button. Come on, Raspberry. Click on the like button. Really appreciate it. And any of you guys that are watching this video for the first time, watching my channel for the first time, you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Click on that subscribe button, but don't waste your time doing that without clicking on the notifier icon afterwards. It's a little bell icon next to the subscribed button. Click on that so you can actually get notifications. Otherwise, you're going to be like other people complaining, I don't get notifications. Well, you got to click on the button. Anyway, this is Computer Programming University. Remember, learning should always be fun. So remember, the first step is to smile. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and until the next video.